Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Star Wars Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here. And of course, Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to a jam-packed episode once again.
Too big.
Too big to handle.
Hey, big on big.
I actually thought it was going to be kind of a light episode, but we got a lot to talk about.
So we're doing all this cramming, like, oh my gosh, all this stuff happened.
Yeah. Got a lot to talk about on the full spectrum of mediums here for Star Wars. Got some Episode 7 news, got some brief Rebel news, and we got some comic reviews to do, and some latest news from the books and novels, and of course, we'll talk about a little bit of what we expect coming up next weekend from Comic-Con. As everybody may or not know, there is a Star Wars panel that weekend, so kind of speculate what we're going to get. Hopefully, we'll be able to see it, those of us that aren't going to Comic-Con.
Yes. They should just stream all these conventions now.
I totally agree, especially Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That is like, Hall H should be automatic.
Yeah.
I'd even pay to see it.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
Make more money for people. It is.
Isn't that what the world is about, people?
You want to eliminate piracy? Just
hey, there you go.
Stream it. All right, so we'll get into it first. Of course, InsideTheForce.com is where you can find us, subscribe to us there. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, RSS feeds right there, or all the episodes are right there on the site. Go check it out. Of course, Facebook and Twitter, we are Inside the Force. First up, as always, little Episode 7. What's up? Yeah.
Not much. In regards to, nothing has really even been spoiled, I don't think, this past week, or anything leaked, that is. But a couple things. One about the movie's website, actually. The official. What is it? The official website, is it theforceawakens.com?
No, it's StarWars.com.
Like slash
the-force-awakens.
Anyways, if you go there.
If you go, I was just about to test it. I think if you're at StarWars.com and you go click on the films thing, that's what's different. So it's not, it's weird.
Can you not access it from?
It doesn't seem like there's no link yet.
This is like an actual website dedicated, I guess a sub page.
Yeah, so it's not a direct site from the films site, because when you click on films, everything that's on that is on this.
Yeah.
It's just a more little interactive thing. So if you go to, it's weird, StarWars.com/the-force-awakens, it's a really cool site.
Yeah, very like a virtual interactive. Like you're in space and you can look around.
Correct. That's exactly what it is. And right now, the only thing that's on there is a gallery of the same stills that they've released. There's a couple desktop downloads you can do, backgrounds. Yeah. And then the trailer's on there.
Yeah.
But there's also
this little Easter egg.
Looks like
because you can look around this thing. If you use your mouse and scroll up and down and around, you kind of look around the space. Then if you look around enough and just so happen to find
there's a planet,
a little planet stuck there, right in space,
looks like Tatooine or
and people were saying it could be Jakku.
Yeah,
and I was looking up here. Apparently, it's been kind of basically confirmed, almost confirmed, not really directly confirmed, but through some Twitter conversations that planet, the site's been up since November, but the planet has been added since April, pretty much closely after the second. It was revealed that there is a new planet called Jakku. So I guess maybe they said that and they put the planet in there, and someone took a screenshot and kind of blew it up of the planet. And if you see, it looks like there's some kind of impact, some kind of little crater impact or something there at the top corner of the planet. Which could be the Star Destroyer. I don't know, but maybe a little big for that. Looks like more like a meteor type thing, or like, going with that rumor of some kind of big super weapon fired at Jakku, whatever, to make it a desert planet. I don't know, but this is most likely Jakku. Our first little glimpse of it. Pretty
so
cool.
this site's been up since November?
That's what this one guy said. Who said this? Anyways, just this blogger guy, this big who's in the know.
Just hearing about
I don't
this.
know.
That's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, me too.
Strange. It's StarWars.com, so it's definitely official.
It's not like an easy access one, I guess. I don't know. How
Yeah, because it's weird is that there's not a link from StarWars.com actually.
Yeah.
So it is really kind of on its own. I don't know.
So that's pretty much all for the movies, except for what's happening later at Comic-Con. If you want to get into that now, but we'll get into that later. But that's all for the main film. We'll get into some more of the
we'll talk about
novelization a little later.
Okay. Rebels, really the only news. Obviously, we talked about last week the
movie.
The movie, the Siege of Lothal, the great animation of Darth Vader, all that stuff. Go check that out. You can get that on Disney XD and the XD app. Watch it, which I am thrilled. All these basically Disney apps, ESPN, and watch Disney XD and all that stuff. They added DirecTV as a provider. So now I have access.
There you go.
Direct access. Before I was using somebody else's.
Cool. Yeah.
Somebody else's Xfinity account.
Yeah, I'm still using somebody's.
Yeah. So you can use mine now if you want. Mine's DirecTV, and now they got DirecTV access to all that stuff. So,
sweet.
Pretty pumped about that.
Yep.
Because I was really starting to get mad because Dish was on there, and I was like, "What?
It's not
Wait
fair.
a minute." Because I've had both, and DirecTV is better. Yeah. But anyway,
anyway, we expect.
But Rebels season 1, the DVD for that and the Blu-ray is coming September 1. So again, everything is coming in September.
Yeah,
you're talking Episode 7 merchandise, Rebels Blu-rays, all these novels and comics with the Journey to the Force Awakens tag on it. All that stuff. I mean, September is just going to be... I don't even know what I'm going to do.
It's just going to lock myself up.
This is like lock myself up in my room.
I got to make some video lessons for my students and just play that while I'm like reading and catching up on everything.
That's true. So we're getting all that. So again, September 1, which I'm assuming is on the... on right before preceding the episode or season 2 premiere, which will probably be sometime that month. So you can get caught up on the Blu-rays if you want. I'm just, it's hard for me, and I don't know how other people feel about this. To be honest, it's a little hard for me to get excited about Blu-ray releases these days.
No, yeah,
you know what I mean.
Every time I go to Best Buy, I'm like, I don't feel the need to buy a Blu-ray anymore.
Correct. Do you know that Best Buy, they don't technically sell those anymore? That's a completely different company that has...
What?
Yeah.
Really? They just rent out space or whatever?
They do. It's third party, so they get a small percentage of it.
That's weird.
Because they don't see the need. Because I talked to them about it, because I walked in there and I was like... I remember I was looking for Arrow season 2 or 3, or I think it was 2.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it, and I was like, "Yeah, do you guys know if the other store has it?" Like, honestly, we don't do anything cataloging of those things anymore. It's a completely separate company. I was like,
so weird.
What? He's like, yeah, we don't. A whole other vendor comes in and supplies that.
Not making enough profit. I guess
I think and plus I think they see the streaming. Everybody going to streaming.
If they would just increase the stash, the what they have on streaming sites like Netflix and Hulu, if they just put more recent stuff out there, release it faster, But yeah,
and the problem is too. It's like the other day when we were talking about a few weeks ago when we were talking about going to see Jurassic World.
right.
I was at Target or something like that, and I saw that they had all three movies, previous movies, on Blu-ray for $10 a piece. Blu-ray, $10 a piece, right? I'm like, well, I don't have them. I might as well get them. But with that, it even comes with the digital version.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'm never going to watch the Blu-ray probably.
Yeah.
Because if I can load the digital version on my streaming.
Yeah.
I'll never even use the disc. I was thinking, man, why? But I can just go on and just buy the stream.
You can, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was looking at like Star Wars on iTunes and all that stuff that you can buy. It's like $100 for all 6 movies.
Yes.
You know, and I was just thinking, I mean, I could watch it pretty much anywhere now. I have a smart TV. I've got an Apple TV.
Yes.
You know, so
I have already purchased them digitally.
Yeah.
So I will probably never pop in a Blu-ray because it's exactly what the Blu-rays are.
And I haven't watched a Blu-ray besides for work for my film class. I haven't really put Blu-rays in for a while, and like when we were watching like Jurassic, my wife. Well, we haven't seen Jurassic Park in a little bit, so we watched Jurassic Park as well, and I just bought it on YouTube actually.
Yeah.
So it's like $10 on YouTube.
YouTube
has like a great selection of.
You can buy movies on YouTube.
Buy and rent. We rented a lot of movies from YouTube.
I didn't even know they were doing that.
It's like a few bucks HD.
Wow. Yeah, I've actually been watching. I've been renting from Amazon Prime lately because I have an Amazon Prime account. And sometimes I can. The problem with Amazon Prime though, not every movie is available on Prime. Some aren't. Then you have to rent them.
Quite caught on to that yet, but
Prime is good in the sense like there's TV shows on there that if you have Prime, which is only $100 a year, you get all access to some of that stuff. That's how I got caught up on Justify. Justify is on Prime. Anyway, totally get off the subject here.
It relates to Star Wars.
But anyway, the Star Wars stuff, like, I mean, I can watch the entire season. I think, I see, the thing about it is I don't think the season 1 is on XD anymore.
They'll probably put that on Netflix, I would think.
But it will be on Netflix, correct. It will, well, it won't, I think Netflix is usually a month after its release.
Oh, okay.
So it probably won't hit till 30 days after the 1st, which will be, 1st of October. But you don't have to spend the money if you already have Netflix and you can wait it out, blah, blah, blah. So,
and eventually they will put Star Wars on Netflix.
They will.
So you won't ever have to, you don't have to buy it anyways. If you subscribe to Netflix,
that's right.
Just watch it on Netflix.
That's right. Which, as of right now, it's still $8 a month, I think.
Yeah.
For streaming. So, yeah, I'm, I don't know how I feel. And Blu-rays are just getting so cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Blu-rays that are like $5.
Yeah. I mean, packaging for Blu-rays still sell me. But yeah, I haven't even considered buying a Blu-ray in a long time. I think Indiana Jones might have been, like the box set might have been the last one I bought.
I remember before Blu-rays hit, I had a massive DVD library.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. And
then I thought, man, I'm going to switch to Blu-rays, and I was going to have this massive Blu-ray, and it just hasn't happened. Mm-hmm. Streaming.
Yeah, never mind.
And I'm a fan of streaming and just digital, watching it on my computer screen, or I love, I got a smart TV in my room here. Mm-hmm. I can access Netflix on it.
Yeah.
Amazon. I mean, why, but again, like you, I would almost pay more. Like, I'd be willing to pay more for Netflix if I can get better, more recent stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think they can easily get to that. I don't know why they haven't thought of that.
We'll hit a good one every now and then, like a good recent film, like an Oscar film, But
very rarely though. But anyway, so season 1, Blu-ray and DVD, digital. But I guess digitally. I guess September 1st, you'll be able to buy on iTunes and all that stuff too. Yeah. I'm assuming. Actually, you probably already buy them on iTunes.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah. And I don't know about the other digital platforms, but I know iTunes one that you can get a season pass, I think, for it, stuff like that. So anyway, you might already have it digitally. But anyway, so that's Rebels. Again, no word yet on actual season 2 premiere, but I'm guessing it's going to be probably mid to late September. All right, so after that, let's go ahead and do some comic reviews.
Alrighty.
2 comics came out this past Wednesday. Actually, today.
Today is Wednesday that we were recording. They came out today, right? Because we did record last Wednesday. Pretty sure.
Yeah, it was today. Wow. Okay. Okay.
We are up to date.
I was just.
Yeah.
It's
been a long day.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. These aren't last week's. No, it came out today. So today, 2 Star Wars books came out. Darth Vader, number 7, and Princess Leia, number 5. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Princess Leia first. What did you think about that?
A little better. I thought it ended better. I feel like it started off kind of the same old stuff. I feel like just a lot of talking back and forth about the Alderaanians and this traitor and all this kind of stuff. And there's so many characters in this comic too. Sometimes it gets hard to follow, especially after we haven't read the previous issue for like a month ago.
It's been a month.
So
yeah.
I kind of it took me a while to remember who these characters were. Some of these more minor characters. But I think it ended pretty well because honestly, it got a little more action in it. It had somewhat of a battle towards the end there, and it kind of closed off this arc, I think.
Yeah, it did.
And but it's still, it's still kind of meh about it. But definitely, I think an improvement to the previous issues. And
right.
I'm interested to see where else it'll go because it looks like Leia may go back to the guys, I guess, Han Solo and Luke possibly, and do some more stuff that that we're looking forward to, that we've been wanting. We just haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I couldn't tell if this is like this whole series is finishing because
it felt like it.
Because at the very end, it has next issue being the Lando issue.
Correct.
Number 1.
Was this? Yeah, was it a mini series or what do they call it, maxi series or micro series or something like that? Or
yeah, probably a little micro series. Because it looks like it's going to start with Lando number 1.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like that idea, doing like little bits of different characters,
right?
Like maybe a Han Solo one later, and
yes,
Luke Skywalker one.
It looks like that's what's going on. Star Wars seems like it's probably going to be ongoing.
Mm-hmm. Vader probably, maybe.
I don't know. It's already got 7
until he dies. Yeah, if he dies, if he dies, it's a twist.
But I'm with you. I think this was okay. I like the concept, I guess, of her trying to save the rest of the Alderaanians. Mm-hmm. But in all honesty, I'm not really too much of a fan of the art in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I don't know. Sometimes when it's not, I'm not as impressed by the art.
Yeah,
I'm not into the book as much, but
yeah.
It's but it's not. It's worth a read in a sense where if you haven't read it, when the trade comes out,
yeah,
it's a good sit down read probably when you go straight through, because like you said, it is tough to follow it with all these other books that we're reading, and once a month, trying to remember where everybody is in this sense. So, but anyway, it feels like that's finishing next issue next month. Actually, it says next week.
Oh, we're
getting Lando number 1. So we'll talk about that next week's show.
Sweet.
But let's go into Darth Vader number 7, which this continues to be a fantastic book. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely like the very first part of it. I'm going to Tatooine, back to his, the old house and all this stuff, and tracking down Luke and Obi-Wan's hut and all that. It was just really cool because there's a lot of subtext that you know what he's thinking, kind of thing, and no one else does. A lot of dramatic irony. I loved it. I got a little, turned off. I feel like it made a 180 when they started going to all the bounty hunters and the huts. Vader's doing all this little kind of breakup and confiscating of like huts kind of materials and all that stuff. I was like, I don't know what's happening. All of a sudden he's doing this little mission and whatever, and then he's going to another hut and talking to them, and then it cuts to a cantina where IG-90 comes in with Bosk, and Afra comes in. So I was, and then it kind of made sense at the end. I tied it up a little bit. It didn't. I mean, it made sense in a way of what Vader's kind of might be up to in a way, because it's obviously a trap that they're setting up for some bounty hunters or somebody. But it was just an interesting turn about in the middle of the comic, and I was very curious as to why they were doing it and where they're going with it. But overall, still a great comic. Not as much action as the previous ones have been, but still, it's really, really cool. Like the Tatooine stuff, the first panel, him looking at the binary suns.
Yeah.
So cool. So awesome. Love it. You can just hear the song in your head.
Totally. And I'm with you. The, this being canon now, it's really neat to know that he went back to the homestead. He went back. He actually has been in Ben's hut.
Yeah, it's like this time
Obi-Wan's
been here.
And it was cool to have him say that line. He's like, you had 20 years
Yeah.
to teach this kid, and he's still not that good.
Yeah.
You just kind of sat him in this. And you think about it, he did have 20 years. God, you imagine that if he would have trained him from the beginning, where Luke would have been. Crazy to think that.
There's a cool line he said. Darth Vader says, like, you're cunning to keep him, to hide him where the last place I would go. Last place I would go back,
return. Yeah.
I was like, well, that kind of made sense to be like, why would Obi-Wan put Luke in Tatooine? Give him the same last name. Like, wouldn't Vader know that suddenly there's a Luke Skywalker on Tatooine because he would keep tabs or whatever? I don't know, but no, he wouldn't, because he doesn't care. He watched that existence.
Yeah,
from his life. So,
and it's kind of like you said a couple weeks ago, I think, when you were talking about how the mythos of the Jedi. It's the galaxy is so big.
Yeah,
it's hard to hear.
Yeah.
So him being so far away from Tatooine,
he's like a galaxy.
I mean, he could possibly. I mean, Luke could have been on just the next planet over from Coruscant, and he would have probably never known. Because it's just.
But it's Tatooine. It's kind of it's isolated from the Empire. They're not keeping tabs a whole lot,
right?
Except for the huts and the trades, and stuff. So, makes sense. Very cool. Loved it. And they showed some full flashbacks.
And technically, Alderaan is actually closer to Coruscant. That's where Leia was the whole time.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
So, but she's not a Skywalker.
True. She
is a Skywalker, but she didn't have a Skywalker name.
But then also had some cool, flashbacks to the fight between Boba and Luke, but we didn't see the entire fight, did we?
Not all of it, no.
So they kind of showed some parts, that we I don't even know if we saw those little panels, but very cool. Kind of how they tie together. I like that.
So did you not again, but for spoilers if you haven't read this yet, but did you? So are you getting the feeling that Afra's double crossing Vader?
I don't at all think that.
So she's like double crossing the bounty hunters?
Yeah, I think she's setting a trap. I think she's leading the bounty hunters to Vader somehow, and he's going to use them or something. I don't know, but I think because she's smart enough to.
Now, is that the Wookiee bounty hunter that was with Boba?
Oh, I didn't even pay close enough attention to even look. Is like the dark, tall one? Is that what it is? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I can't remember. Or maybe it's not, but I think it might be. But anyway, yeah. So I was kind of taken aback by that anyway. But anyway, yeah. The next issue,
because that would explain why Darth Vader's all of a sudden taking all this money credits from the huts. So I don't know.
Yeah, very interesting. I think. Let me look up what's coming out next week. But again, the Lando book is starting next week.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
So we'll preview that. So that's Lando number 1. I thought this was going to tell me what comes out next week, but it's not. So I'll look that up in a second. But anyway, so moving on to, I guess, don't forget next Tuesday, which is July 7th, the release of the next Star Wars canon novel. That will be Dark Disciple. That will be in your bookstores and online availability, digital downloads. all that good stuff next week. Love to get some perspective on that if people are out there going to read it. It's, I was out at Celebration seeing the animatic scenes that it was cut from, from the Star Wars Clone Wars, which again would have been great episodes, with Ventress and Quinlan Voss and some new planets that they're going to. So definitely a good read for people that want to continue reading that stuff. So, and that's really it on that part.
A couple things with the books. The Del Rey released a new sampler of some other books. This might end up being like a yearly thing, I guess. For the Star Wars books coming out, because last year they did a 2014 Del Rey sampler, excerpts from other books. They did it again this year, some with the same stuff. They have one for Dark Disciple, one for Lords of the Sith, Heir to the Jedi, Tarkin, A New Dawn for some reason. But they have one for Battlefront as well, the new Battlefront novel coming out. It's called Star Wars Battlefront Twilight Company, written by Alexander Freed. So if you want, it's for free. If you want to download it, read a little excerpt from Battlefront, the novel, which comes out later this year, November 3rd of this year. Basically, it's just about this company, this Twilight Company, just in a battle. I mean, it's more of like a war type thing, much in the vein, I guess, I would feel Rogue One will be about. And kind of just skimming through some of the excerpts of this book, it looks like it could be, it could be pretty dark. Some interesting lines and dialogue in this, so it's pretty cool. And there's also, at the end of the sampler, I think this has already been released as well, but Star Wars Aftermath, the one that takes place right after Episode 6. It's pretty cool. And from the official synopsis, I was just reading through it, and something that caught my attention that we've been talking about just a few minutes ago. It says, the second Death Star is destroyed. The Emperor and his powerful enforcer Darth Vader are rumored to be dead. The Galactic Empire is in chaos. I thought that was just a cool phrase, that they're rumored to be dead. Because, again, the galaxy's so big, people don't even know for sure that the Empire's dead or alive, and the Emperor and Darth Vader. So, very interesting there. And apparently, Aftermath is about like a lone rebel scout that uncovers a secret Imperial meeting, I guess, and about maybe they're trying to come back and fight the rebels, and basically the last stand of the Empire before they become the First Order, perhaps. Interesting stuff. So if you want to read that, go download it. You can download it on Amazon.com if you just search for Star Wars 2015 sampler.
So what?
For free.
Do we know the release date for Battlefront?
Yeah, Battlefront is November 3rd.
No, the book.
Oh, the book is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the same month.
The game comes out that day too, I think.
Game, I think, is a little bit later, actually. I think the game's the 17th, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
But see, I don't think the book is necessarily the novelization of the game. I think it's just maybe set in the time of in the game. It's just a battle.
I think it's a tie-in book.
Yeah.
I think it's a novelization of one of the campaigns, is what I.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think, like, if you think of the game as a movie,
yeah,
I think it's the novelization of that.
It says
campaign,
that
right?
This takes place within the destruction of the first Death Star, so the game does correspond to that time frame. So, yeah, the Rebel Alliance 61st Mobile Infantry. So I guess, yeah, it probably will tie in. I mean, like directly as in tie into the campaign.
Yes,
I suppose.
I think it's a little more, in depth of the characters,
yeah,
and their thoughts and their interactions.
That's the thing too. I wonder. I haven't read too much into Battlefront actually, but if it's like in the previous games, is it going to be? I don't know if you've read it. If it's going to be like a respawn type of game, where if you die, you just come back as another random soldier, or are you one character fighting in all these battles?
I think you're one. I think it's focusing on introducing one character, like several characters, but you play as a new character of the Star Wars universe, and it's that character that's carrying out the campaign.
So like
if
you die in the mission, you just die. You don't respawn. So that may be.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't you normally respawn?
Well, like in Star Wars, you're just a generic soldier that you just die, come back,
right.
and die and come back.
I'm thinking that's how it's going to be, probably. Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's how it's going to be. But you're right. So November 3rd
November
is
3rd.
So actually the next novel we're actually going to get is probably Aftermath, which is in September.
Okay.
Right?
September.
So I don't think there's a novel coming in August. And September starts the whole journey to Force Awakens, and I know Star Wars Aftermath comes out, which is the book you're talking about, right? Directly after Episode 6. I think there might. Let me look it up. I think there might be a release date for that.
Yeah. But yeah, and there's also this isn't in the sampler, but just there's an interview out there with the author of the Force Awakens novelization, Alan Dean Foster, who also wrote Splinter of the Mind's Eye, like the first book of Star Wars, like outside of the novels, like the first expanded universe book, perhaps. Like it's such a really old. It's one of the first.
I think. I mean, I think it might have been one of the first.
Definitely one of the first, but I don't know. It's.
But I think Truce of Bacter was one of the early ones, and Shadows of the Empire was an early one.
But
Heir to the Empire, Heir to the
Empire
that
was
Thrawn trilogy was
that
really
was 90s.
early.
I think this came out way earlier though. I can't even remember, but
Splinter of the what is it called?
Splinter of the Mind's Eye. As you're looking that up, so just a couple of things I thought were interesting with this interview with Alan Dean Foster about the novel. His source material was just the screenplay, he says. So he adapted straight from the screenplay, plus some concept art and production visuals. Because we keep talking about these novelizations and how they're, if at all, they will differ from the movies. Because the whole canon rule is that as long as the books align with what is seen on film, then it is canon. If anything does not align, then it is not considered canon. So how much is this going to align or not align to the film? So something else that this interview comes from the interview is that he was asked, Alan Dean Foster was asked, did you have any contact with Lucasfilm Story Group during the process of writing the novel? He says, yes, I of course had to have some... He says, yes, he did. Separate sentence. He says, I of course had to have some leeway, but the group certainly made their opinions known. So it sounds like, we might have a little bit more detail or a little more story, not necessarily about story, but a little more, detail in the book than we get in the movie, which is, of course, common. But how much? And will it will it add more to the story? Like, will it change some things? Because, he can't go too far and do something that's, doesn't align with the movie. And therefore it won't be canon. So interested to read this novelization because I'll definitely read it.
Yeah. And when does that come out?
The novelization comes out. Oh, sorry, this is the interview. I didn't say it here in this article. I'll have to find that.
Well, Splinter of the Mind's Eye was indeed the first
one
expanded universe Star Wars novel. Wow. It was published in February of 1978.
Dang, yeah, that's right there.
So it was set between episode 4 and 5, when episode 5 wasn't even a thought yet, I guess, or even.
Yeah,
I mean, they were getting ready to shoot it, I guess, but
because I think that cover of Splinter of the Mind's Eye comes from an old concept art of episode 4, I think, or maybe just Star Wars Saga in general, because it was there was an early story arc of one of the first drafts of Star Wars where it involved some kind of gem or something like that. Mm-hmm. That's pretty interesting. But the Force Awakens novel, the ebook version comes out December 18th, the same day as the movie.
Oh, wow.
The hardcover comes out January 5th. So I'm getting the ebook version probably. It's going to be cheaper, definitely. But read it on my iPad, on my phone, my computer. So there you go.
That's going to be hard to read it that day, though.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to...
Because I am going to be watching that movie
several
times that day.
I'll be reading it.
Actually, we're going to see the movie probably the 17th.
The 17th, definitely. So I'll start reading it. Like, I just saw this. But that's really cool, and that's all for the novels that I got.
Yeah, I'm just gonna double check that I think Aftermath. I should have a list of the novels here. Wow, this is like the list of every novel, but that's not right. Okay, so here we go. List of future books. Here we go. Future books. So September. So Dark Disciples, July 7th. Aftermath, September 4th. Wow, that's early. That's great. And then you got another hardcover novel, Battlefront, like you said. Mm-hmm. Did you say Twilight Company?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's November 3rd. So those are the novels, and then you got, like you said, Force Awakens. So those are the only future novels coming as far as that goes. Now, this doesn't show kind of the... this doesn't talk about the comics that are coming in September. Going to be tied in as well to the movies, but a lot of junior novels coming out as well. Man, so every one of these junior novels are canon, I guess, too, right?
It's going to have to be, yeah. Unless it has legends.
I mean, there's a ton of junior novels that have been coming out.
Yeah. Like how much will be like a revelating story? Like, oh my gosh, like this is a must read before.
Well, see, this is strange because they're actually moving. They're actually calling, like that graphic novel I was telling you about, Episode 4, New Hope, The Princess, the Scoundrel. Yeah. No, actually, that is a novel. That's the novelization, right? Episode 4, The Princess, the Scoundrel, and okay, so this is calling it a junior novel.
Oh, like a novelization of Episode 4.
Yeah, remember they talked about
that. Yeah,
they had the different covers that we posted on our Facebook page, and then The Empire Strikes Back. So You Want to Be a Jedi, and those are considered actually, according to this, those are considered junior novels.
Okay,
so they're not actual novelizations of the film. Even though they're kind of just...
Yeah, but see, like, junior novels will be even more stripped down to where it's just the movie. No, like...
Yeah.
Necessarily inner thoughts or a whole lot of detail.
I mean, like it says here, it's a retelling of the classic Episode 4 story in a new illustrated novel. So it is illustrated.
Pictures?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's got pictures.
Yeah, that's nice. That's all I need.
That's what it says. So technically, it's not a full novelization. Okay. It's a junior novel. Okay. Because junior novels have those. Mm-hmm. It's almost like a comic book, but basically it is a novel, but it has pictures in it.
A lot of pictures, yeah. Sometimes.
So that's interesting. I want a novelization of the movie. Is what I want.
I want it.
Okay.
You listening?
Just do that. All right.
I'll write it. I don't care.
So that's the novel news. What else? That's all the mediums, I guess, right?
Yeah, all the news.
So real quick, let's talk about Comic-Con. Comic-Con is next week, July 9th through the 7th, or the 12th. Is that right?
So
9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. So I think it's 9 to the 12th. In San Diego, of course, this is the big one, International Comic-Con. You got the times of the Star Wars panel. I think it's Friday night. You said?
Friday, yes. Friday, July 10th from 5:30 to 6:30. Lucasfilm president and producer Kathleen Kennedy, director J.J. Abrams, and writer Lawrence Kasdan, and special guests provide a special look at Star Wars The Force Awakens. That smells like a trailer to me.
Definitely smells like a trailer. Hopefully it's released wide.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got everybody. Kennedy, Abrams, Kasdan, and probably, I'm guessing, the cast. Will Harrison Ford be there?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, so what do we think we're getting?
I think we'll get... I mean,
will it be the same as Celebration?
I think we'll get a lot of the same, maybe a little more. Like, I think we'll get a trailer some more images. Some maybe official character posters. The only other thing I could think of, they won't do. If they do clips, they may do clips, but it won't be released.
Right.
That's kind of like their MO. But maybe something like that. Maybe I think I'll be surprised if we got the opening crawl.
Oh, I don't think we're ever getting that.
So, yeah. So I think trailer, character posters, some other images.
I remember with episodes 1, 2, and 3, they released the text.
That's what I meant. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so I think that's too soon.
Yeah.
I think it's possible we get that maybe in November or something like that. Mm-hmm. But Abrams movie, I doubt it.
So will we get a new trailer next weekend? That seems a little soon to get a new trailer to me.
It's definitely soon.
Like a theatrical trailer is what I'm thinking. Like 2.5 minutes.
See, I don't think we're getting that. I don't think we're getting that till probably. I was thinking September when all this other stuff hits.
So I think another teaser.
I think it might be another. I think it might be the same teaser that we got at Celebration, except it'll have more of the older characters in it because we haven't seen.
Just like an alternate, like same
kind of
voiceover,
like maybe kind of like that, and then. I think maybe we see Luke for the first time. We see Leia.
Yeah. Maybe they're interacting.
Possibly. And, we've seen Han, but I think there's a little bit more, maybe.
That'd be cool if it was more original character driven. Like if we saw like an Akbar in the trailer.
Maybe those images we saw, leaked images with like Lisa
they're
in
more
them.
like, that, yeah.
Maybe those are from a possible the trailer.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see Lupita Nyong'o's character in action.
Yeah, Andy Serkis' character. I think we're gonna get just a minute. Well, how long was this last? Was it
about the
a
same.
minute and a half?
Just about a little longer. Yeah, about a minute and a half, maybe a little more. But
so I think it'll be something like that. It won't reveal the plot at all yet. Okay. Still, it won't do that. I think it'll just be more images video. I think he's keeping that level, a little bit level of secrecy if he can.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to believe that than a theatrical trailer, because it seems so soon for that. But
when's Disney's convention?
D23.
What's it called? D23.
Yeah, but there won't be any new content there. Pretty sure it's August 15th.
Because I'm thinking, what other major events are there between now and the release? Like I think July. I think just a couple weeks after San Diego Comic-Con is New York Comic-Con, which I doubt to do anything there.
If anything, from D23, they may talk a little more about Rogue One, perhaps, but it doesn't seem like they'll do much with the movie, honestly. Just preview it. Just be like, hey, it's coming. But yeah.
I wonder if... Let's see. So Rogue One comes out next December, 2017 or 2016.
And then episode 7 comes out in May.
Yes.
That's too good.
Episode 8, you mean?
8, yeah, sorry.
So I'm thinking definitely... when do they start? They start production this summer, right? For Rogue One?
They'll have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking we'll get a trailer for it probably on episode 7.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think that'll be a tradition.
Yeah.
And they'll start episode 8 this fall, I would think.
I think they start shooting in February is what I heard.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Right after the movie's released, I think they go back. Because then they'll have
a little break.
But see, they'll only have a little over a year to do it. If they're talking about May of 2017. But again, they've already done major pre-production because that's a different director. Ryan Johnson has been working on it.
Yeah. Same sets, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah. I guess it's been written and approved already.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would say so. I mean, they had a picture of him stepping on the script.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh, yeah,
picture,
that's right.
If that was the finished, thing.
I wish they would just announce whether or not Abrams doing 9 or not.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, that's our little speculation. I think we'll get something. Hopefully, we might have to Might have to wait to record our show until after Friday, just in case something comes out.
True.
So
True that.
But anyway. All right, so I think that'll wrap it up. Besides, the book that we...
Quick little...
Yeah, besides our character, we're doing some characters here through the book Ultimate Star Wars. This is from DK Publishing. You guys got to get this book if you haven't already. This is... that actually reminds me of... what? Oh man, this is gonna kill me if I don't remember this right. But I think there was a article coming out. Oh yeah, did you see that article that talked about? It was actually on StarWars.com. The maps, the map of the galaxy.
Oh,
like there's a new book coming out that's highlighting. I can't remember.
Like an updated map.
It's like the Atlas. It's the
Yeah.
Star Wars Atlas. But the problem is in the article, it talked about having the expanded universe planets in there.
I mean,
so
they want to incorporate it to canon, I guess.
I guess
no problem with that.
It's the Atlas. You know how you've seen images of it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it might be because it says it's updated with it's all the Clone Wars stuff. It's all the updated expanded universe stuff and updated systems from the Clone Wars.
So is this not a canon Atlas, or is it just...
See I mean, they obviously have expanded universe how is it? But then again, if you think about it, it ain't going to be much of an Atlas if they're only using stuff from what's been mentioned so far, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be because in the article the author was talking about how at the very back of the book he wanted to put the index. He wanted to list every system, and the artist, I guess, or something like that, or the guy who's doing the book was like, "Wait a minute, how many systems are we talking about?" And he's like, and he named it was like 4,000 something.
Yeah.
And the guy like apparently freaked out. I was like, but they did it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can name probably almost every system that's mentioned in the movies and in the Clone Wars and in Rebels. So, again, you wouldn't have that big of an atlas if it was just those systems. So you have to add them in there, I guess. So I don't know how much of it is. I guess it's canon.
Well, they can't do like Korriban, Morban.
Yes.
Morban and Korriban. I don't know if they can do that. I'll be interested to see if they include both of those planets.
It's very, very true. And I'm going to try to find...
Or if Jakku is in there.
As you do our character here, I'll try to find the article. Yeah. But our next character here, go ahead.
Yep. Qui-Gon Jinn is the next character that appears in the canon that is Star Wars. First was Obi-Wan, then it's Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, not much here in the book that we don't already know, but I'll just kind of highlight some cool things that refresh your memories. Some of the little facts really quick. Appearances, episodes 1, 2, and Clone Wars. Species human, homeworld, Coruscant. I think it's kind of interesting that he's actually from Coruscant. Affiliation, Jedi Order. It's little things that he was raised in the Jedi Order, and they kind of go through here. His main highlights how he was a Jedi peacekeeper. He was initially set on the mission to investigate the Neomodian Trade Federation blockade of Naboo, which took him to Tatooine and found Anakin, which took him back to Naboo, where he supposedly died. And then it goes to his communion with Yoda, where it says, by the will of the Force, Qui-Gon's spirit survives. And Yoda eventually hears Qui-Gon's disembodied voice. And I think it's interesting that they say by the will of the Force, because I've always thought, how does this whole living through the Force abilities start? If Qui-Gon taught Yoda, Qui-Gon also taught Obi-Wan, how did Qui-Gon learn? So it seems like it's such a weird thing, like by the actual will of the living Force, the Force wanted Qui-Gon to live on, so they just straight up said, like, hey, I guess you're going to live on. And I guess Qui-Gon was already there at that point anyways, in the Force and in his mind that they kind of thought he would be ready and willing for that. And then after that, he had communion with Yoda. So then during the Clone Wars, I guess after the Clone Wars, after Order 66, Qui-Gon communicated with Obi-Wan to teach him how to live on through the Force. Then it goes through some more parts where describing how he's very empathetic. Then he has a nice aptitude at having empathy for other life forms. Talks about Jar Jar and all that stuff. Talks about fight with Darth Maul. And then it talks even a little bit about Mortis, the whole Mortis story arc in Clone Wars, which still, to this day, just I've got questions about it. Because I just want to talk to Filoni about this whole Mortis storyline. Exactly what does it mean and what is real about it? What was a Force dream about it? Or maybe it was all real, I guess. Even though it was a Force dream, it was still real. Because it talks about Qui-Gon's appearance on Mortis. How it says on Mortis, Qui-Gon's spirit, kind of appears, tells Obi-Wan that the planet is a conduit through which the Force flows, presents great dangers to the Chosen One, and then his spirit maintains that the belief is that Anakin is fated to bring balance to the Force. So it refers to him as the actual spirit of Qui-Gon. Like that was actually Qui-Gon that was there on Mortis, just manifested through the power, the Force power that was on the planet. So that's still such a cool storyline. More the Mortis Ghost of Mortis storyline, but then it finally describes Qui-Gon as a Jedi Maverick. He's highly trained. He's instinctive. He's a restless soul who steadfastly follows his own path and bringing balance to the Force. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Liam Neeson.
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay, so I did find the article real fast. So in 2009, this book actually came out. It's called The Further Adventures of Star Wars, The Essential Atlas, done by Daniel Wallace and Jason Fry. So now the book that's coming out, and it's coming out in August. When does it say it's coming? It says right here. No, maybe it doesn't. So I think it's coming out this August as well. But anyway, this update, what it says here is the update includes the entirety of the Dark Horse run, the final seasons of the Clone Wars TV show, and the remaining Legends novels.
The entirety of the Dark Horse, so like every Star Wars Dark Horse comic.
That's
what that means.
Basically what it says.
That's a lot.
And rounds up a bunch of the stray systems that escaped us. Huge thanks to Wikipedia, HK47, and Cavalier 1 for their efforts finding those missing systems, and of course to Leland Chi for vetting everything.
Leland Chi, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. The appendix now includes 5,085 systems, up from 4,387 at the original publication back in 2009. So, and he says right here, I'm not naive enough to think that we found every star system hiding in a long ago RPG supplement or video game cutscene. And of course, this is an unprecedented era of Star Wars storytelling. So here's to new star systems, new stories, and Atlas adventures yet to be recounted. So, again, it's got legend stuff in there. It's got dark. So I don't know. It's not. But it does look like something. They don't have any really images of it, but it doesn't look like it's the same. I mean, it looks like it's roughly the same as it was before, but it's definitely added. If you've ever seen, you remember the picture of the galaxy that they've. So it's the same thing. This just looks a little more detailed. So I don't know.
They just like a Band-Aid, just rip it off. Stay with canon.
I agree.
Don't do more. Don't fill up more Expanded Universe. I mean, I guess I don't mind some Expanded Universe books, more Legends books every now and then, but like this Atlas thing, man, just do canon. Even if it's just like 20 systems, I don't care.
I agree, and just keep adding to it.
Yeah.
So, all right, that'll do it for us here. Thanks for listening. InsideTheForce.com, where all the episodes are right there for you to listen to. Follow us on Twitter, Inside the Force, and Facebook, Inside the Force, for the latest Star Wars news. Kryptonian1138 is Casey. You can find him there on Twitter. I am dcottingham21 on Twitter. Hit us up there, and our website has our email on there if you have any comments or questions. info@insidetheforce.com. And we will be back next week talking about Lando #1, and of course whatever gets revealed at Comic-Con, if we ever can find out.
It was such a great time.
Yes. So he is Casey Cooley.
Remember, your focus determines your reality. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Wow. Yeah,
It's
nice.
one that doesn't get said a lot, but it's a good one.
Your focus determines your reality.
That's a deep one. Think about that, guys, this week. Ponder.
Now, where did he say that at the pod race?
I'm pretty sure it's the pod race. Yeah. He said it to Anakin.
Yeah. Okay. I think so. Awesome. It is July 1st. 6 months down, 6 months to go until Star Wars Episode 7.
Sup.
Sup.
It's just ain't but a thing.
Can't
But it's pretty serious.
wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, I was doing a wedding last weekend, and the groom asked me, "Are you excited for the Star Wars trailer?" Because he's also a big Star Wars fan.
Star Wars movie?
Star Wars movie, yeah. He's excited for the new Star Wars movie coming out because of the new trailer. I was just like, dude, yeah. Come on. Yes. Beyond.
That may be the dumbest question I've ever been
We always
asked.
talked about it because
Yeah.
he's also a huge fan. He's also very excited. We talked about Battlefront. It was just so
Yeah.
many good things coming this year.
It is. It's unbelievable.
Hopefully he's listening to the show.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your wedding. Thanks for listening if you're listening.
Absolutely. Thank you. And tune back here for the latest news next week.
Yes.
For Casey,
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm David Cottingham, and as always, may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.